This is a real-life story told while playing Roblox. You don't need to watch, just listen. For a long time, I didn't want to admit that something was wrong between us, because technically, we were still together. We talked, we saw each other sometimes, we could sit next to each other. She could hug me. From the outside, it looked like a normal relationship. But inside, I constantly felt like I wasn't fully there anymore. It started with small things. She began spending more time on her phone, not just scrolling, but like she was waiting for something. When I was talking, she nodded, but it was obvious her mind was somewhere else. A few times I caught her look and realized she wasn't really with me. I was usually the one texting first. If I didn't text, silence. A day could pass, sometimes more. Then a short message, sorry, I was busy, that was it. No follow-up, no interest. And every time, instead of accepting what was obvious, I made excuses for her. We made plans to see each other, more than once. But almost every time, a few hours before, something changed. I'm not really feeling it today. Let's do it another time. Nobody tried to talk it through. Plans were just canceled. And later that night, I'd see her stories sitting somewhere after work, laughing, looking completely fine. I stayed quiet because I didn't want to be the guy who pressures. I didn't want to hear that I'm jealous or overthinking. I thought staying silent was better than starting a conversation where I'd somehow end up being the problem. And then there was that call. We were sitting together. I was talking, I don't even remember about what. She was on her phone. Then her phone rang. She looked at the screen and smiled. Not at me, just smiled. She said, "I'll be right back," stood up, and went into the other room, calmly. No rush. Like it was something normal, and then I heard her voice. It was different, lighter, more alive. She was laughing, saying things like, "Seriously? No way, okay, I'll call you later." And I just sat there thinking one thing, she hasn't talked to me like that in a long time. After that, I started noticing things I used to ignore. How she'd step away to take calls. How she'd reply to me with one word, but send long voice messages to someone else. How she said she didn't like long conversations, but could talk for hours on the phone. I didn't know the details yet. I didn't know names, but I already felt there was someone else in this story. And a bit later, I found out that a new guy appeared at her workplace. Let's call him Max. Just a regular guy, new at the job. Nothing that should have raised alarms right away. But it was exactly after he showed up that I started feeling like I was slowly being pushed out. After I found out about Max, I didn't do anything right away. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I wanted to be sure. I wanted to understand whether this was real or if I was just looking for confirmation. Because the worst thing is accusing someone and later realizing you were wrong. But every day, it became more obvious. She started staying late after work more often, texting things like, "I'll stay a bit longer," or "It dragged on," or "We're hanging out with coworkers." Technically, nothing suspicious. But every time I asked something extra, she shut down. Short answers, no details, no desire to explain. I noticed something else too. She became careful with her phone, not hiding it dramatically, just always placing its screen down. If I came closer, she'd automatically lock it, not nervously, on autopilot. That's what people do when they're used to hiding something. One time, we were sitting together and I asked calmly who Max was. No aggression, no accusations, just a question. She froze for a second, then said he was just a coworker. That I was overthinking, that I was making things complicated again. Still no direct proof, but I knew very well what it feels like when someone isn't fully honest with you. That's when Rachel appeared. Rachel was her friend long before me. We weren't close, but we knew each other. And one day, she messaged me herself. No hints, no gossip. She said it was hard for her to watch what was happening. We met just to talk. And that's when a lot of things clicked. Rachel didn't exaggerate. She didn't try to make me look like a victim. She spoke calmly, straight to the point. She said Max didn't appear by accident, that they started talking a lot while we were still together. First at work, then outside of it, that it stopped being just coworkers a long time ago, and that people around them noticed, they just didn't tell me. Rachel said one more thing that stuck with me. She said my girlfriend didn't look conflicted, more like she enjoyed the attention, enjoyed having someone new while I stayed around and kept tolerating everything. After that conversation, I didn't feel the need to confront anyone. Because when someone with no reason to lie confirms what you already felt, everything becomes quiet inside. Not painful, just clear. After that, we stayed together for a short time, but only technically. In reality, it was already over. She could be physically there, but mentally she was somewhere else. And I stopped pretending not to see it. A few weeks later, everything became obvious. She stopped hiding how much time she spent with Max. No more excuses about work or coworkers. She simply didn't feel the need to explain. At some point, I realized we were together only out of inertia. I didn't make a scene. One day I just said I couldn't do this anymore. That I didn't want to be the guy sitting next to someone who was already living a different life. She didn't argue. She wasn't even surprised. She just said it was probably more honest this way. We broke up, and almost immediately, she openly started being with Max. No pause. No, I need time. Everything moved fast. And that's when I understood this story started long before we ended things. Now the ironic part. From mutual friends, I later found out that Max didn't stick around for long. He was there only while it was interesting for him. Then he simply stopped replying. No explanations. He disappeared like nothing ever happened. That's when she remembered me. At first, simple messages. Hey, how are you? I didn't reply. Then the messages got longer. She wrote about mistakes, about not appreciating me, about finally understanding everything. Then she started reaching out through others. Friends messaged me saying she was having a hard time, that she wanted to talk, that she needed to see me at least once. Even Rachel messaged again. She said, I'm not on her side. I just don't want you to go back into this. I replied once, calmly, no anger. I said I wasn't coming back, that I didn't want to be someone people return to after everything else fails. She tried again, said things would be different now, but I already knew they wouldn't. Because if someone truly wants to be with you, they don't look for someone else. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel the need to prove anything. I just closed that chapter and moved on. And honestly, after that, I felt calmer than I had in a long time. Because it's better to be alone than to be with someone who never fully chose you.
I don't know what you would have done in my place. Maybe you would have given another chance. Maybe you would have left earlier. But now I'm curious about you. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Do you think I did the right thing? Write it in the comments. I really want to read your thoughts.